Hello, everybody. This is Sri from BizBuzz, What Matters the Most in Your Business, and sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly catering to service-based small businesses. The exciting news is we opened this software for the rest of the world. Anybody in the world can use it. And today we have a guest, Craig Andrews. Craig is a principal ally at Allies for Me, and they are masters in marketing. If you are on a high ticket, high trust item, you may want to be in touch with Craig. Craig, how are you doing today?
Sri, I'm doing wonderfully. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate it, your time. So, Craig, today I wanted to talk about setting the price right. So, a lot of businesses, we all know it's competition, and in some of the industries, price sensitive, particularly if you are in a B2C. If you are in a B2B, price may not be as sensitive as B2C market, right? As a business owner, how do I know my price is right?
And pricing is absolutely important, but I think a lot of people get it wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks, I actually have a presentation that talks about this, about how people try to fix sales problems with price.
Uh-huh.
And I will tell you, most of the time, you're not priced too high.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny, we were talking in the green room about how I'm selling my house
Right.
and I'm looking at the competition. The other houses in my neighborhood are priced too high. And the best indication I have is that they've been on the market for 60 or 90 days and nobody's bought them. One
Uh,
house has been on the market for, I think, a year.
Correct.
And so it is possible to be priced too high. Um, but what I see in business is people try to fix sales problems with pricing.
Mm,
And and that's something you have to be really careful to do because you're creating transactional buyers
right.
when you do that. And those are your least profitable buyers. So as a general guide, I think when you're setting price, you need to have an idea of where your
Mm-hmm.
competition is priced.
Mm-hmm.
And I would actually say if you're doing other things right in your business, you should be able to charge a 10% premium over your competition.
See, but at the same time, it is difficult to compare apples to apples in B2B side. B2C side, yeah, you are looking at gallon of oil and gallon of oil. They both are the same. It doesn't matter what the brand is. Yeah, we can go a little bit deeper on ingredients and calories and all that. But when it comes to B2B, there's a lot of ups and downs. You may bring in some additional benefit that could be valuable to the organization, to the customer. An example, I'm taking software case, right? Most of the software companies, they don't even give you the name and phone number or email address to contact them anymore.
Right.
So what it means, software companies are discouraging you to contact them. Whereas
Yeah.
in some cases, in our case, we provide name and email address, phone number. You contact us whenever you want. So that could be greatly valuable for some companies, may not be valuable for some companies. But how do you know when you are comparing what is the value am I bringing to the table for the customer?
Well, and the thing that you're talking about there, it's something bigger that I would say is customer service.
Right.
And customer service, people will pay for customer service time and time and time again.
Yes, exactly.
And not only will they pay for it, but it will anchor them there.
Hmm.
And the Land's End, um, the clothier Land's End,
Yeah.
for years and years and years, they had this policy of guaranteed absolutely.
Hmm.
And there were people that would take advantage of it. Somebody would get a shirt and they'd wear it for a year and they'd send it back and say, I'm dissatisfied with it. And Land's
Ah,
End would honor that. Well,
ah.
and what happens, you know, and somebody, some bean counter at Land's End said, well, we have this one person ripping us off, or, this 1% or 3% ripping us off. So we're going to eliminate that policy. And if you look at their revenue, From
Hmm.
the time they eliminated that policy, their revenue just started dropping.
Oh, wow.
So this is where I'm bringing it back to customer service. You would pay a little bit more to buy things from Land's End than somewhere else. But because of customer service, people were willing to
Because of
pay
the
it.
customer service. Yeah.
And that's where I'm coming back. If you want to be able to charge 10% more than your competition, yeah, in B2B, it's not always going to be apples to apples, but you should have some ballpark idea of where your competitors are priced.
Correct. Right.
And once you have that ballpark idea, then look at different ways of improving customer service. And when you do that, you'll be able to charge more.
That's
And
correct.
not only will it drive more revenue, but it will drive higher margins and more customer loyalty.
It's more of a customer loyalty that I personally love about it. Once the customers are happy of what you're bringing, and if they see value in what you are bringing to the table, most of the times B2B, they don't care for a few dollars, give or take, 5-10%. I mean, if you are at double the price than the competitor, then they will really take a serious look about it. But if you are within like 10-15%, give or take from the competition, they really don't bother with it. Because B2B, they know the reliability is important,
Yep.
right?
And it's not just B2B. Again, I could show you some stats because
Yeah.
this is a part of my presentation. Not just B2B, but B2C. The number one thing driving the purchase decision is not price.
Oh,
It's
really?
something else. It's often quality is often one of the things that drives that.
Ah,
And but then again, I would also tie into customer service. Now, Amazon bought the market by offering lower
lower
prices,
prices.
but they've been able to retain their hold on the market because they have the most amazing return policy.
Correct.
Well, they have a great delivery policy. It's from everybody else, you order something and like a week or two later it arrives. Amazon, you order something, it's either there that day or the next day.
Yes.
And if I have to return something to Amazon, all I do is I put it back in the box it came in. I drive 5 minutes to the Whole Foods near me
Yes.
and I return it. And so people have stopped. And here's the point: people have stopped doing competitive shopping if they can buy it on Amazon.
Yeah,
They're
that is
no
true.
longer doing competitive shopping. Well, you want the same thing for your B2B business.
Hmm.
You want to be that person that they go with all the time. And that's where I would say it comes back to it. But back to your point in terms of pricing, you have to have an idea. We provide marketing services
Right.
and we have an idea of how much our competitors charge.
Yes.
And we come in a little bit higher. The reality is we should probably come in a lot higher than we do.
Right.
But we come in higher because we we're not doing cookie, and this is something I hear back from. We just signed a client who had thought about working with us a couple years ago. I think they were scared off by our pricing, and they went with
Yeah.
others. And they came back and they said, "Everybody's doing this cookie cutter marketing,
Correct.
and it doesn't. One, it's not working. It's not changing my business. But two, they're not marketing for who we are."
Exactly.
And so we can charge a premium. And we've been able to figure out how to do some things that very, very few people know how to do. And the reason I'm saying that, it's not to toot my horn, it's to say you need to be doing the same thing in your business.
Correct.
And make sure that you're doing it on more than one pillar. So what
Yeah.
what will happen is as you start pulling ahead, your competitors, when you start taking market share from one of your competitors, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, you know what, we're going to copy Shri. And
Yes.
and if it's a single pillar,
It's easy
that
for them to copy it.
right. But when you start adding three or four pillars,
Yes.
it's harder for them to copy and they may not know what to copy.
Yeah. Even if they copy it, they may not have the same quality of delivery
Right.
because now you have mastered it from the beginning. You scaled your business with that four pillars.
Yeah.
Or whether it is first you invented it or first you started the business, but you became the master of it. If somebody is copying what you're doing it, they are already telling you are the master at it.
Right. Right.
And if
Yeah.
your competition is telling you are the master at it, market already knows that you are master at it.
Yeah.
So there is no reason for to be worried about and looking at the competition is copying you as a threat. Um, it's incredible. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Well, and the other risk, kind of a quick thought, another risk when you copy, you never know if you're copying their successes or their failures.
Absolutely true.
Um, when I was marketing semiconductors for mobile phones, we had an applications engineer in Taiwan. I didn't hire him.
Yeah.
Somebody else hired him, and they sent him to meet with me to kind of
Yeah.
get him up to speed. And after a couple meetings with him, I went to his boss and I said, "We can't let this person visit customers." They're like, "Oh, Craig, you're being too harsh. You need to give him a chance." I'm like, "No, this person will make up, customers will ask this guy questions and he'll make up answers that are not true." And they're like, "Craig, you don't know that." Well, so they hired him and he worked for us for 3 years. And one of our competitors hired him away because we were doing amazingly well.
Ah,
We were doing well in Taiwan, we were doing well elsewhere. But they thought, hey, what we'll do is we'll hire this guy, because he's been part of the success. And I went out to meet with customers after he got hired away. And I had multiple customers saying, "We're so thankful he's gone. He would tell us stuff and we never knew what to believe." And
bad.
so years later in that industry, it's small. We knew each other. We knew our competitors. And one night we were having drinks together, and I said, "Hey, I always meant to send you a Christmas card or a thank you card for hiring Sam away." And they looked at me. They're like, "Oh, he was horrible." I said, "I know. Thank you. Thanks for, but
Hiring me
that's
as
what
a friend.
happens." They were the smart ones. It only took them 1 year to figure out they need to fire him. We never did figure out. He left us. Um, but that's the thing. When you copy your competition, you don't know if you're copying their successes
Are
or
you
their
copying their
failures.
failures? Yes.
And the fact is, if you want to take market share away from them, if you want to grow your business, don't copy them. Figure out how to come in and deliver things that they
Better
can't
than them.
deliver.
Better than them. So you always see, first thing I always believe in that I need to look back yesterday. How am I better than yesterday? Before even I look at competition.
Yeah.
Because competition, when you look at the competition, it is going to confusing you. As very well put, you said, you're copying them, you don't know whether you're copying their failure or success.
Yeah.
But if you compare yourself, if you look at what have you done yesterday and you talk to customers and get the feedback and get better than yesterday, you're naturally progressing. So now, thank you very much for sharing that technique here. And that was a wonderful dialogue. So if those who are listening and those who are worried about you may be higher in price, but look at what value you are bringing to the table. As Craig just mentioned that there is a possibility that you are bringing more value to the table than you know, and customers will speak to you on that. So take a look at it. Keep that thought in your mind when you are having a concern that you may be too high and that's why you're not getting uh, business enough. And don't try to fix your sales problems with the price. That's what the Craig's mantra here. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Craig.
Thank
Greatly
you.
appreciate your time here on the show today. And for everyone, see you next time. And if you don't have already, please subscribe and follow our channel, myworkbell.com. Thank you. See you all. Bye bye.